First down, Vikings. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 49 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd down.
This time Jackson will throw it. Being chased out left. He'll run it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in his first half of action. Eluding the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tenants. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to run, but and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s. So a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. To throw is Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Bailey's kick is good, and that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10, down at the 33. Jackson from the shotgun, escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Everson Griffin able to get him for a loss of about 3. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, and it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3-point.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Cousins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They run. Cook. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and 1, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Cousins throw complete to Thielen. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Here's Jackson throwing again. And an alley to run. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Cousins now. He'll find Thielen working the middle. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Cousins. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. And he's into the clear. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings.